Hi guys, I'm Megan Graham, and please first of all excuse this video quality from this one video. I usually film on my camera, which is like a Canon Rebel, and then I download it onto my powerful MacBook. And my MacBook Pro died this week. It's only 6 months old and it needs a new battery, but apparently it takes the store 6 days to replace the battery in my computer. So I have my super old MacBook Pro that barely works at this point just to use in this video. I am going to do a Yorkie story time, and Alfie is here. He's totally ready to help me. It's going to have minimal editing just because of the fact that I can't really edit on my phone and post, but I told you guys that I was getting a Yorkie story time together, which is like one of my favorite videos, and that I was actually going to be answering some of your questions in this video. So I did want to answer some of your questions, and per usual, I'm going to be grooming the Yorkies at the same time. They really look forward to it, and I figured I would do both things at once and that we could chat a little bit and I could answer your questions. So Alfie is like impatiently here, ready to get brushed, so we're going to start out with him. So this is kind of, I guess it's a comment, it's not a question, from Rosalind, and it says, I think it is sad that your breeder doesn't want you to share her information because I am interested in one with the bare face like you have. I have a female who is 8 years old. I would like another one. So Rosalind, I get what you're saying, but you know, my Yorkie breeder she doesn't have the capacity to have a lot of people to be contacting her, and some people just want their privacy, so I fully support that she does not want, she would get so many different people from YouTube that wanted to talk to her. And so a few different things about the teddy bear face. One thing is simply that, and I know I've said this in videos before, but the way that you cut your Yorkie's hair is going to have a big impact on their appearance. So I don't think you should look at a shelter dog or a dog that you think doesn't look perfect. And remember, there is no such thing as perfect. So I'm not saying there's a perfect dog, but just remember that just like with people, a great haircut gives a certain appearance. And the thing with the teddy bear face is a lot of it is just getting that sort of rounded appearance with the Yorkie's haircut. So Alfie needs a lot of grooming, but if you look at his little face, he has kind of a rounded look, and it's because of how his hair is cut. And because of the length of his ponytail and things like that. So it's not, sorry Alfie, I feel like I just flipped him over a bit. It's not just the Yorkie itself, it's also the haircut. And I think that Yorkies that you get from show breeders will tend to have the most traditional Yorkie-like features because they're breeding them to be the breed standard. So not saying that you absolutely have to get one from a show breeder, but I personally would say I would get a Yorkie only from a shelter or a show breeder, and personally I wouldn't get one anywhere else. I think adopting is the best option, and I will say that I feel like I talk a lot about a good place to get a Yorkie from, and people just get so impatient that they just get a Yorkie from anywhere. And the thing about it is, I'm not putting down Yorkies that people got from different places, but if you are getting a Yorkie from someone that is not taking care of their Yorkies, which is it's most places that are not show breeders, then you are perpetuating the problem with supporting breeders that don't care about dogs. Yorkie breeders do not do it for the money, they do it for the passion that they have for Yorkshire Terriers. So that is my little spiel. But again, so I don't ever share my breeder, and I fully support that. I know it irritates people, but I'm not here to sell people Yorkies. I'm just here to educate them on how to have a happier and healthier life with their Yorkie. My next question is sort of a question comment. It's from D. Baird, and apparently when they bought their Yorkie, when they brought it home, they had a playpen and they used pee pads and took him out at least every 2 hours, and we expected accidents, but apparently what she didn't expect is that he tore up every pee pad, and that they have a cat who would smell the urine and he started going on the pad. Now the baby is 9 months old. He doesn't have too many accidents, but he's still marked sometimes, and he will get neutered soon. Later on in the comments, what I saw was that Dee actually told me that she got her Yorkie when it was 5 weeks old. Now, first of all, I have to say, even if you didn't get your Yorkie when it was 5 weeks old, you could have problems with a male Yorkie and marking. It's not unheard of, and as many of you know, as I have talked about, my male Yorkie, Alfie, he's a show champion, and he is still occasionally making puppies, not because I'm not trying to be a Yorkie breeder, I'm not selling puppies, but that was part of the deal when I adopted him. I will say that I do think that male Yorkies mark more than some other dog breeds. I just cope with it myself. I put him in a Pampers if I know that it's a situation where he's going to want to mark. Like for instance, when we brought our new male kitten home, I knew that Alfie, my Yorkie, was going to want to mark. It was just going to be a thing that he automatically wanted to do. So most of the time, if I can't watch him directly, he is in a Pampers. The other thing that I would say though is 5 weeks is way too early to bring home a dog. Bigger dogs like Labs can go home the best time to bring a big dog like a Labrador Retriever home is at 8 weeks, which is 64 days. It's completely different for smaller dogs, and I did not bring Lola home until she was 13 weeks old, and any Yorkie breeder that is a good breeder is not going to let their dogs go home before 12 weeks. So 5 weeks, you may have some problems, to be honest. So when something, a baby, a puppy, is forming, that time is super, super important. And if you do bring your puppy home before they are old enough, you are likely to have more behavioral problems and possibly even health problems. For instance, when I got a kitten, I wanted to be sure not to get a kitten from a breeder that would let that kitten go home before 10 weeks old, because before that is too young for a kitten. And I actually didn't bring him home until he was 14 weeks old. Was he as teeny as some kittens would be when you bring them home? No. I know some people just want their animals to be super teeny, but I want my animals to be really healthy and well adjusted. So I wouldn't bring a dog home. And I'm only commenting on this because I know that a lot of people are researching when they watch these videos, and they want to do the best thing. They want to give their new baby the best start. And I know, she probably did not know that that was too early to bring a Yorkie home, but 5 weeks is way too early to bring a Yorkie home. You are going to run into problems with hypoglycemia. It hasn't been socialized well enough, and it's just not something, I would honestly never do it myself. So sorry, but just commenting on it, I would say to get some really nice belly bands and keep those around, keep some Pampers around, because I don't know, but for male dogs, once they start marking, you might stop it. You could definitely watch my house training video for some tips, but it's a challenging thing to stop. So I hope that's helpful. Sorry for my long and rambling answer, but I just want to give you guys as much info as I possibly can. And also to find my scissors, because I put 3 bands in Alfie's hair yesterday because he has so much hair. It wasn't staying back with the 2, and I missed some long pieces, and I really wanted to go out on my walk. So instead of redoing his ponytails, I just kind of took the long pieces and added them to his other 2 ponytails. This question is from Patricia Hunter. It says, I recently lost my little Yorkie Mini. I'm so sorry, that is really sad. I lost my boy Teddy 2 years ago, and it breaks your heart. Minnie was 14. Bless Minnie's little heart. I am retired and money is not so great now. I totally get that. So I will probably look at a shelter Yorkie. Yay, Patricia, that is a great idea. You're gonna save a little Yorkie from a shelter and give it a great life, and it's gonna be fabulous. That's a great idea. So it says, I live in the Midwest and will be home training my Yorkie as I did with the other one. What health insurance do you use? I use Trupanion Health Insurance. It is fantastic. I love it. I recommend it to everybody. Get health insurance for your Yorkie. It's not going to cover conditions that they already have, but future problems, you will be so happy you got it. This says, why does your Yorkie have no teeth? She's talking about Lola. Honestly, I couldn't tell you, Patricia. I also have Lola's sister, Poppy, who is from the very same litter. Alfie, you are so difficult when I brush you. And I've had Lola a little bit longer than Poppy, and Lola just had the worst teeth. Even though they're from the same litter and they have the same parents, Lola has very, very thin and tangly hair. Poppy has very, very full and lush hair. And Poppy has a lot of her teeth, and Lola does not have any of her teeth. So I will say Poppy does like to have her teeth brushed, and Lola protests a lot, and so she barely gets her teeth brushed. But I think every single dog is different, even from the same litter. And Lola is smaller than Poppy, and I have a feeling it's like she didn't get the good hair. I don't think it's like my sister and I probably eat more healthfully than my sister, but for whatever reason, I've had like so many cavities, you can't even, like my dentist just yells at me for the amount, and like my teeth look fine, but I've had so many cavities. I eat healthfully, and my sister never gets any cavities and just eats sugar like it's going out of style. So I don't know why, but she doesn't have very good teeth. She doesn't have any teeth anymore. She does just fine without them. And what the vet, I was crying when they took all her teeth out. I asked if they could do implants. No, they can't. Anyway, so I was crying, and the vet said, honestly, Megan, she's not going to have a problem. Dogs barely chew their food anyway, and just like cut her food into little bites and so on and so forth. Don't let her get her hands on anything really big. The only thing that I feel bad about is when my other dogs have nyla bones that they chew on, and she can't do that. And she also has more trouble just like picking things up from the ground. So I do feel bad about that, but she is toothless. So someone named Bird said that Teddy was the cutest baby, and Bird, thank you so much. My dog Teddy that passed away 2 years ago was like otherworldly. He was so cute. He had been through a round of chemo because he had an autoimmune disease, and it gave him white curly fur instead of like that normal Yorkie look with the different colors. And he was so cute, and he was my best friend through, I dated for years and years before I met my husband, because I didn't meet my husband Jeff until I was 38 years old. And I definitely like cried quite a few times holding Teddy, and it was like I was never alone. He just helped me to be a true adult, and he was just the best dog. I can't describe the relationship, but there will never be another dog quite like Teddy, and he was absolutely beautiful, one of a kind, and yeah. So thank you for the compliment. That means a lot, because he has such a special place in my heart. So this is from Elaine McLaughlin, and she said, I have a 11-month-old Yorkie. He is the sweetest baby ever. Although he has bad potty habits and we keep him in a diaper, what do you do about the markings? And again, I keep around, so I have this woman that makes awesome handmade little belly bands. I should actually get a few of them and just show you guys. She does all these patterns. She does them to your dog's measurements. They're washable. I usually put like a thin maxi pad inside of them so that if and when Alfie does go to the bathroom in one of them, it's absorbed, and then I can just switch that maxi pad out. But she does a fabulous job. I also often link to some on Amazon, and those are also fine. But her work it's just beautiful. I texted with her recently. She doesn't really have a website up right now, but she's getting a new one up, and it's called, I think it's Kiss E-Collars. She also makes really, really nice little custom, the cloth e-collars that your dog can wear if they're itching, if they had surgery, things like that. So I have custom ones for my dogs, because I just can't stand putting the ones on them that are made of plastic and they're uncomfortable and things like that. And so I highly recommend her. It's hard to link to her. She does have a Facebook page, and I think it's KISSEE collars, and she's fabulous. I just love her. So basically, I just put him in a Pampers, or I put him in a belly band, and I don't keep, like, if you look behind me, you won't see a lot of rugs, and I buy my furniture it's like slightly elevated so that if he does pee, he's peeing on the chrome leg of my sofa, so it's not ruining anything. this may not be the best solution, but I mean, this dog, I'll just have to show you him again. He's not done. I love this little dog so much, and I wish so much that you didn't pee on it would be nice if you didn't pee on mommy's things, but he does, and I love him anyway. So, you know, I just deal with it. He's my dog, and I mean, he was 3 years old when I got him, and it's not a habit I've really been able to break. So I will say, this is terrible. Jeff, if you guys saw my video last week, Jeff was visiting, and we were about to get into bed, and he was like, Alfie peed on my pillow. So this is the second time, probably the second time in 2 years, but where Alfie has gone onto our bed, I know this is awful, onto our bed, and he has peed directly on Jeff's pillow. So he never does it to mine, but I think my dog might be a little bit jealous of my husband. Are you jealous of Dad? I know you love Dad, but you're jealous too. So yeah, we washed everything really thoroughly in hot water. Let's see what else. So, hi Carla, thank you so much for your comments. And Carla, I just saw your comment that your Yorkie son Jake passed away on November 3rd. That is really, really fresh. I'm really sorry about that. It's such a big thing to go through. I was actually thinking about doing a video about that, and I feel like it's a sad video, but everybody is going to go through losing their Yorkie. If you have a Yorkie, unfortunately, it's not going to live forever. So I was thinking about doing a video about some of the things that I did to cope with losing my Teddy. I had a special memory bear made out of his clothes so I can always hug it, and I love it so much. So there were some different things that I did, and I thought I might share them because, you know, everybody's in a different stage. It's like you have that exciting stage where you bring your baby home, and then there are the sad stages where your dog gets older, and it's just part of life, right? So I just want to say I am very sorry about that. It says that you're hoping to adopt another baby soon, which is exciting. And Carla was also asking how I groom my dogs without any drama. I think they're just really, really used to it. It's just a very regular thing that I do. I will say, like, I don't know, this is not my regular camera, so it's a lot harder for you guys to see what I'm doing than usual, but I can maybe, let me see if I can tilt it down a bit more so you can see. So it's a terrible angle, but that's okay. So Alfie is actually the hardest one for me to groom, and he's always kind of like trying to get away. I feel like he's really, really challenging, and he doesn't like to be groomed, but I just take my time with him. I find that if you take your time and you're really, really gentle, it's okay. And anything that you get your pets used to, they're not going to fight you a lot on it. So you might have trouble at first, but I think once your puppy realizes that, you know, nothing bad is going to happen to them, you're going to be really gentle, and that grooming can be a pleasant thing, then it gets to be a little bit easier. The other thing with me is I tend to groom them right before we go out on a walk, and they look forward to going on walks. So I think that it helps them to sort of like sit through their grooming. Oops. Sorry, I have so many little elastics that seem to be caught. But it helps them to sit through their grooming because they know that after they get groomed, they're going to do something that they enjoy. But just the more that I do it, the more used to it they get. Poppy is the best. She was also a show champion, and she just loves to be primped and beautified and groomed. So I don't know, they've grown, I suppose. You're a good boy. You're a good boy. Look at that. Look at that gorgeous guy. I love you, Alfie. So anything that they get used to, though, they I don't think will mind too much. So I just got a question from Shopper's Choice, Kentucky. How do you get your Yorkie hair so thick and fluffy? So honestly, the thing about hair, oh, I think I just got his ear hair in here. That's not gonna be, there you go, good boy. The thing about hair is It's not so much anything that I do to get his hair thick and fluffy. It's just genetics. I mean, I do take care of it. I'm very gentle. I use elastics that don't break his hair. I brush it gently. After their baths, I usually put their hair up in a scrunchie so that there's not a lot of, I have little tiny scrunchies like for children. But basically it's genetics. And so again, it kind of goes back to that it just depends on the dog, and a lot of Yorkie breeders are trying to breed dogs with like that perfect Yorkie coat. I will say his coat is almost too full, so the breeder didn't want to breed him with another dog that had a very full coat because that's actually too much for the Yorkie. So he has almost a thicker coat than normal, and she wouldn't combine him with a girl dog that had as thick of a coat. So, but it is basically genetics. It's kind of like I have very thick hair and I own a hair salon, and I'm gonna put you down now, buddy. It's Lola's turn. And a lot of people always ask me how I get my hair thick. Now, you can, you know, obviously I basically keep it the same. Oh, as I drop my dog. Terrible dog owner here. But basically, I don't change the color of my hair all the time. I'm gentle with my hair, and, you know, I'm careful how I put it up and things like that. But I was also just born with really thick hair that actually grows out this long. And so it's kind of the same for dogs as humans. Like, I do use high quality products and I feed them excellent food and I don't break their hair and so on and so forth. But to point, it's genetic. And if you have, like Lola has you'll see when I'll show you her hair in a minute. She has a totally different coat than Alfie. So Alfie has a very cottony coat and it's very difficult to brush. And even like, I brushed him thoroughly yesterday. He's in his little toy bin getting toys. So I brushed him thoroughly yesterday and he's still tangled and kind of a mess. Like Poppy, out of my 3 Yorkies, by far, like, can you see Lola's coat's kind of like wavy and thin and things like that, but she's still beautiful. She's so gorgeous. So a lot of it's genetics. It's not like a magic thing that I do, but I make the best of each of their coats, and like Lola needs every single hair on her head, so I am really gentle. And it's also just good to be gentle because, I mean, I don't like it when people are rough when they brush my hair. It hurts. So let's see. This one is from, I think it's Nikki or Nisi's Niche Sport Nutritionist. It says, "Hi, I found your channel today. My husband is looking into getting me a Yorkie. He really wants to have a little one, no more than before, because last Monday my mom passed away. That is awful. I'm so sorry. We went searching for a puppy yesterday, but I got home without one. Would you help me with any advice on where I can get pure breed Yorkie?" So the main thing is, like, honestly, I would not recommend that you go out and try to get a dog in a day. This is just life advice, but anything that's worth doing, you should be able to wait for a few months, a few weeks. It shouldn't have to be done the next day. I think that people that have to go out and get a dog and they need it that day, they're probably gonna give up their dog. That's just my honest thing. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll love their dog and they'll keep it forever. But, you know, the anticipation of planning to, Alfie's down there harassing the cat. You're a good boy. It's okay, Alfie. But the anticipation of planning and waiting for a dog can be just as nice as having the dog. And I'm sure because of what you're going through that you're dying to change something right away, but also be careful about impulsive decisions that you make right after losing a family member. It's like just not a great time to take on a lot, and you might do something and regret it. So not telling you that you should not get a dog, but I would say finding your companion could definitely take you, I would plan on weeks or months to find a great companion. And my first place that I would tell you to search is just look at some shelters. There's so many dogs, and there's going to be, because so many people got puppies during COVID and they didn't think it through, there's going to be so many lovely puppies in the shelters that need a home. And 2 of my 3 dogs, you know, I got as adults, and you're not going to love them any less, and they're not going to be any less beautiful. They're not going to be any less special, and you're going to feel so good that you brought home a dog from a shelter that, you know, you took care of and you gave a second a new lease on life. If you do want to get a dog from a breeder, look for, I always forget, it's the Yorkshire Terrier Club of America. Look for a Yorkshire Terrier Club of America breeder. You're probably going to be on like a 6-month wait list to get a Yorkie. That's okay. You're going to have your Yorkie for years and years, and you can plan and nest and get the things that you need to get to take care of it, but it is worth the wait. Good things are worth waiting for. That is what I would recommend, but I would not recommend, like, whatever you do, don't go in a pet store. Don't go in a pet store. Don't look on the place that will ship you pets the next day. Those places are terrible and they don't treat the parents well, so please don't do that. Anyway, so have some patience. Definitely check out my videos on, you know, like The Truth About Teacup Yorkies actually just talks about breeders. The video that I made about the price for a Yorkie tells you a lot about how to find a good Yorkie breeder. But please do not discount a dog from a shelter. I see so many beautiful Yorkies. They just need they need a bath, they need some good food, they need some cuddles and snuggling and a nice haircut. Seriously, a nice haircut fixes everything. So just don't discount them because of how they look or what have you. Everybody just needs a little love, and everybody just needs a little makeover to be their best. So that would be my answer for you. Jalen, you were asking about what kind of food should you give your Yorkie puppy when you first get her. You could give her just food for dogs. I think that's completely fine. I don't know what I would tell you if you were going to give her dry food, because I didn't research dry food choices simply because Lola, it's better for her to have wet food in small quantities, but I think it would be fine to give your puppy just food for dogs as well. I would probably just give your puppy food about 4 times a day at regular intervals to make sure that, you know, your puppy's blood sugar is always good and that he or she is eating enough. And I do have a link to my Just Food for Dogs. I have like my own custom link for them, so feel free to look for that as well and ask me any questions that you have. Oh my gosh, I love this. I'm looking at someone's question and I didn't even see this, but someone else answered the question for me. So Alim said they've been binge watching and they want to know how old my Yorkies are. And the person said, I think she just made a video called Yorkie Storytime, how I got my Yorkies, and explains how I got my Yorkies and the ages. And she said, I hope this helps, but I think one of her dogs are 8 years old. So, oh my gosh, that's so great. So Ice Queen, thanks for answering the question for me. I was actually going to direct them to the video because there's so much information about my dogs in that video. Lola, who is here, is almost 8 years old, and her sister Poppy is also almost 8 years old, and Alfie is 4 years old. So that's how old my Yorkies are. And then our little kitten Simba, who like occasionally, oh, Lola's so tangled because there was a snowstorm yesterday and we went out and the poor little baby there were like balls of ice formed on her legs. I felt so bad. I rushed her in to get the ice off. It was just it was like the perfect storm for just not good for your Yorkies. Anyway, so that is the ages of my Yorkies. And this says, your Yorkies are so well behaved. My Yorkie girl doesn't like being flipped over for grooming. Love your plan of working from anywhere while doing something you love. Looking forward to future videos. Oh, thank you, Sandra. That's so nice. Yeah, I really want to be able to work anywhere, and that's, you know, I really appreciate you guys supporting me with these videos because I am almost about, I'm sorry, Loves. I'm almost about to hit my 1,000 watch hours goal, you guys, thanks to you. So that's amazing. So I think if your dog really doesn't like being flipped over, I wouldn't flip your dog over. The other way that you can absolutely groom them is just like, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put down, Lola, she's so sassy. I'll put down a towel on my coffee table and I'll stand them and I'll groom them that way. So you don't have to flip them over, and really it's just do whatever they enjoy. If they hate being flipped over, maybe it's uncomfortable. Like I don't like flipping my head upside down. I I have rosacea, and when I flip my head upside down, like if I'm trying to blow dry it or something, it always exacerbates my issue, and then I have like a red face and it looks like I have acne. So, I mean, I wouldn't really appreciate it if somebody was holding me upside down. So if my dogs don't seem to mind it, but if they did, I would say don't do it, because then you're gonna make the experience like unpleasant. So just stand them up and you can groom them. I think I actually did a video that it was how to groom a Yorkie face, and I think I was actually standing my dog up for part of that. So you might wanna reference that just to see how I do that, if it's helpful to you. And I'm always happy to film another video if there's specific things that you need to see. I will get my good camera back and be able, I filmed a really good video for you guys the other day, but I can't edit it and post it because it's all on my big computer. So that will be coming soon. This person is asking, so her name is Lisa, and she was asking, did I give my dogs the lepto vaccine? If so, how did they react? I am honestly not sure. I can't remember. I'm assuming I probably did. I think it just depends on what you're doing with your dogs. This says that they're going to be traveling with their dog. So, I mean, you might want to do it. I would say though, what I did do with my dogs and their vaccines is Lola scared me. She's trying to bite me, but she doesn't have any teeth. That's why I sometimes say like it's probably not bad that she doesn't have teeth, because she's kind of mean sometimes, and I'm not hurting her. She's just mad. I know, Lola. I know. She's biting the brush. Lola, you're so mean. Don't be mean. She does have a lot of knots from being outside yesterday. I will say that. So what I did, and it's really hard to talk when your dog is attacking you, what I did was I did split up my dog's vaccines, because they have little teeny tiny bodies, and I think that giving them all of their vaccines at the same time could be risky. It could overwhelm their little bodies. So I brought her back for extra appointments because she was such a tiny dog, and I just gradually got her vaccinated. So that was what I did. So this question is from Cinderella, and Cinderella, it's always really nice to hear from you. Thanks for your question, and your name is, I'm always jealous of it. Hi Megan, I have a question about my Zeus's hair. I know Zeus is only 6 months, but when will his hair start to thicken up and grow? He got his first haircut, and I must admit it's looking healthier. Your Yorkie's hair is so thick and healthy. I think it really depends on the dog. Not every dog's hair thickens up, but I think it really takes a while. I mean, it's sort of like clients come into me at my hair salon, and they'll like see me once or twice and say, oh, my hair doesn't feel like it's healthier. Well, that's because your hair's barely grown, right? I mean, it takes, like, for a human at least, it takes about a year to see 6 months of hair growth. So like for me, I don't think, if people are being honest, I don't think that like women's hair usually gets healthier for about 6 months. So, I mean, hopefully like by a year, you'll be seeing a big difference in Zeus's hair, but I think it takes a while. I don't think I cut my dog's hair a lot until they were older. I think I just kind of like let it grow out. But just keep him in the habit of brushing it all the time. Like even if his hair is short, just get him in that habit so that he doesn't grow to hate brushing. And I mean, she's really hating her brushing. I don't know if you guys can see this, but she's not happy today, and I think it's because she got so tangly out on our walk yesterday. They had like ping pong balls almost that size all over their legs because it was a mixture of snow and sleet and rain. It was awful. I rushed them in and I put them under cool water to take the snow off because I felt like it was going to be painful if I did it too quickly. This person, I think their name is Gail Vargas, said their dog is supposed to eat 3/4 per day, and I give him 3 times a day. How much am I supposed to feed him? Well, 3/4 divided by 3 is 1/4, so it's fractions. So that would be, you would give him 3 1/4 cups per day. And this says it is difficult to find a cool, oh, this is, okay, we're gonna skip this. This is on a hair color video because of course I'm a beauty expert. Love Ty. Oh my gosh, thank you for the compliment. Alfie is so adorable. Your hair looks so pretty today also. Thank you. I think I was like looking prettier last week because my husband was in town, and I always want to look beautiful for him and try to keep up the facade that I look good all the time, which is, it's probably not true, but I try. This one is from Bella. Bella, how are you? Bella is saying, I know this is a weird question, but do you use toner or purple shampoo on your dogs? Most Yorkies have more of a copper red undertone. Mine, honestly, it might be my camera. It kind of, oh my gosh, I feel like she's just being so terrible today to be brushed. It might be my camera and my lighting, but I do think that my dogs do have a copper undertone. I don't use anything to try to change my Yorkie's hair color. I honestly just like love them just the way they are. And I also feel like it's interesting because people have asked me about coloring Yorkie's hair. I'm really into like natural, clean, health stuff, which is funny because by trade, I'm a hair colorist, which is like, it's just hair color. It's fine for clients who aren't getting it all the time, but hair color itself is like it's a pretty toxic substance. Like, I'm fine with getting my hair colored and things like that. Working around it all the time probably isn't great. I would never subject my dogs to it because, you know, they're perfect just the way they are. They're just like creatures of nature, and I don't know. I don't think they need it. So no, it's just how they look. They do have a bit of a copper undertone, but I think that the lights just make it look a little bit cooler. I usually have my halo light on, and I think it casts a bit of a cool light. Oh my gosh, I totally missed this one before. It's from Drea Love. It says, I got a Yorkshire Terrier 2 months ago. She is the love of my life. That's awesome. And I just wanted to let you know that your videos have helped me immensely. That makes me so happy. That's exactly why I have this channel, to help you guys and to enrich your relationship with your dogs, and also to teach you how to keep your dogs healthy, because there is more to human and dog health than most people think. And when you kind of, you know, get it from the foundation, you're gonna be healthier and your dog is going to be healthier. So it says, I just wanted to tell you thank you. Your channel is going to grow into something big, and I am excited to watch it happen. That is such a nice compliment, and thank you. That means a lot. I've been working super hard on my channel. I love bringing you guys these videos, and that's what I'm hoping for. I feel like I should probably end this video because I have there's so many questions, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do another one of these tomorrow, and they're gonna be super low production videos, so I'm sorry for the lighting. I'm sorry it's not like as professional as most of mine are, but I'm not getting my computer back for days and days, so I would miss a whole week of posting. And it's, you know, sometimes you just do the best with what you have. But had a wonderful time with my husband. It was so good to have him home, and it went by really, really fast. And then he went back to his ski shop in Aspen, and I've just been hanging out with the dogs and our new cat Simba, he has eclipsed the dogs in size. So he was 3.8 pounds when we got him, and that was about 5 weeks ago. He is now 6 pounds, and they're starting to realize, like, oh wow, this thing is getting big. He's one of the biggest cat breeds that actually exists, so I think he's probably going to be somewhere between 12 and 18 pounds. I have no idea how big he'll eventually be, but he's an absolute love. And those are our main things. And this week I have just been focusing, I've been taking the dogs on their walks, taking great care of them, but I also sort of doubled down, and I'm like really working on my own fitness and sleep and health and things like that. I don't know about you guys, but I was just sort of like waiting for all this stuff to be over to feel like myself again, and it seems like it's just not over yet. Our country's still, there's a lot happening with, you know, the virus and stuff. So I just decided that I'm not gonna put, you know, taking care of myself off. So I started I'm wearing my Fitbit now. I'm getting into bed earlier. I'm eating more healthfully, and even just like, I'm really bad about taking time to eat when I'm busy. So I just started like taking more time to eat and take care of myself. And you know what? It's just going to benefit the babies and my goals and things like that to take better care of myself. So I even went as far as my husband, when he was home, and I both took like before photos, and we're both like we're just like tracking our weight training and being really good about all that stuff. So I'm doing a 3-month challenge just with myself to get in better shape, because I feel like spring is just around the corner, I like to think. And I think the world is going to be a lot different soon. So I want to be at my best instead of just like taking worse and worse care of myself and then catching up, you know, like trying to catch up later. So anyway, that's what's happening. And I think the dogs like it because they like to get in bed early. They like it when I'm like in a better mood from taking better care of myself. So it's going to benefit all of us. But I hope you guys have a beautiful week. If you're enjoying these videos, please go ahead and put your questions below. I am going to do more of these Q&A videos, and I like to just, it's fun to talk about your questions because what I can answer, you know, in a quick comment is just like so limited. Also, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already taken a moment to subscribe. I am like 100 subscribers away from hitting my 1,000 subscriber goal, and yeah, that is what's going on. So I hope you guys have a great week. I'm going to show you Lola, and I'm going to do Poppy next. She's patiently waiting. Lola was really hard to, I know, Lola. Lola is our alpha dog, in case anybody's wondering. Lola, look. Want to look at the camera? She's the alpha. She's a little cuddle bunny, but she also is like the boss, and she always tells you what she wants. So anyway, guys, stay healthy, stay beautiful. I'm going to do another installment of this because I still have so many questions that I didn't answer from last week. But thanks for watching, and stay healthy and beautiful, and I will see you guys later. Bye.